Thank you. For those that don't know, my name is Lonnie Ray Williams, and for those that do and haven't heard my stump speech, it's going to be a little bit different tonight. Last night, as I was heading out to go to a forum in Ponderay, I got a phone call and was notified of the forum here tonight. And it brought me back to a time in my life when I was in the military. And when I got a phone call, I had to show up. And that's one of the most important things that you can do as a representative. And I've got to applaud each and every one of these people here tonight, because out of the 7 counties that I visit in trying to campaign, I can honestly say that every single one of these people here love this county, and you guys have a tough choice. So thank you for them first off. And the second thing I need to say is there's a Marine in every race where I go. So for those of Army people, stand up and start running, okay? We need more representation because the Marines are making us look bad. So, that being said, this thing's gonna kill me. That being said, my first and foremost priority is to be your representative. And for those of you who don't know, I started a publication a couple years ago with my family called The Pamphlet. And we talk about our Constitution, our founding fathers, and we try and search out little known stories like Sybil Ludington, a 16-year-old girl who rode twice as far as Paul Revere. We're not trying to minimize Paul, but we're here to tell a lot of little girls out there that they have inspiration in our American Revolution as well. I come from a long line of military families, and my father, his unit was wiped out in Vietnam. He was one of 3 survivors who was lost in the jungle being hunted by the VC for 3 days. That left a traumatic effect on his life. My daughter was in the service. I was in the service. My grandfather was in the service and pulled bodies out of Pearl Harbor. We have a long tradition going all the way back to Thomas McKean, the last signer of the Declaration of Independence. And why was he the last signer? Because he was bailing George Washington's butt out. He was leading troops to save him. When I got out of the service, I said, I've done my time, and I want to live from freedom the rest of my life. I've earned that. But I look across the nation right now and I see a country in trouble. I can't not stand up and serve again. I can't not stand up for my country right now, or all of my time, my family's time, means nothing. We are living in the greatest crisis in our history right now, and we must decide what type of leadership we want. I'm a military veteran, I'm an infantry veteran. I served time in the Presidential Honor Guard and the Emergency Operations Center in Washington, D.C., and you have to ask yourself, what type of leader do you want in the world we live in today? Thank you. Please look at my campaign, and I will be open for questions.
I don't believe we have any submitted questions, pre-submitted ones, but we have a few minutes if any of you would like to ask a question to Lonnie. Do ask all questions to be respectful. And yes, sir, go ahead.
Mike Marthaler, City Council here in Oroville. We address the issue that we have both local, state, and national, which is conflict. How do you see yourself working with the Blues to depolarize this nation and this state?
Thank you. That's an excellent question. And here's what I know. When I was in the military, perhaps many of you guys remember that, it didn't matter what your affiliation was. We were Americans. We need to get back to that mentality. During times of crisis throughout my lifetime, what have we always done? We've come together. But what have they done in the past couple of years? They've spread us apart. So number one, we need to remember that this red, white, and blue is for all of us. Our ancestors have paid for that. It doesn't require a bill in Olympia to get something done. What it takes is a good leader to go to this county commissioner, say, you have assets that we can pool together. I was in Ponderay last night. They got massive amounts of overload on power. They got more power than they know what to do with because their dams are functioning pretty good. We can put our heads together and figure out what problems we have. Joe, you got to get your hay in, but you can't get tires. That's okay. I'm going to get Steve's tractor over here. You pay for his diesel, and we'll make sure it works. We need to reinvent the skills that our forefathers used to have because we're going to be relying on those more than ever. And you need a type of leadership, whether it be military or not, someone who has control of the skills and say, look, it's not good. If we're going to wait to go to legislator to get things done, we're going to starve this winter. So we need people right now who have the type of leadership skills to say, you know what, forget about the bill. Let's get together. We're going to have some town halls. One of my commitments is to hold a town hall in every one of these 7 counties every month. You guys need access to your representative. You guys need to be able to come to me and say, look, we're hurt. Okay, great. I know a county that can help. You need that type of leadership. And you need that type of leadership to rely on these gentlemen here, to plug them in and say, these are qualified people. Let's pull them together in the 7 counties we have to make this happen. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Waynes, my name's Mark Alden, 28-year Coast Guard veteran.
Yes, sir.
Earlier, Mr. Neal talked about federal overstep, or how our rights and our constitutional rights have been overstepped and maybe taken control of. I want to hear from you what you would like to do if you were elected to what you're running for to deal with the feds. We got FBI agents up here in Molson in the month of June, 16 of them training up here with tactical helos. Why is the feds in Okanogan County and not coordinating with local law enforcement, 1, but 2, growing their presence here without our consent or our authorization?
That's an excellent question, and I'm going to share a personal experience. Before I signed up and put my name on to run in the office, everybody loved what I wrote in the pamphlet. Everybody loved liberty and freedom, but the moment I did, I became a constitutional terrorist. Now I'm somebody who is a threat because I talk about liberty, freedom, our founding fathers, and our true history. So I know exactly what you're talking about. The first and foremost thing we need to do is appreciate our own state constitution. And first, number 1, is all power, all political power is inherent in the people. All, 100%, there is nothing else. So if I don't have the power to tell my neighbor to sit down, shut up, put a mask on, and stick this in your arm, government cannot take that power. We need legislators that understand that the Congress has limited power. Our legislator has limited power. You guys are in charge. And if you don't have, whoever you're voting for, forget about the R, forget about the D, you ask them one question. Do you know the Constitution and what does it mean to you? Because if they cannot answer that question, they are worthless as a leader. And I stand on that.